don't even know what day of the week it is. That's terrible, ways.
It's bin night.
It is bin night.
It's bin night, fella.
Welcome to the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Today is Wednesday the 18th of September and my name is Darren Baldock. Joining me at the other end of the world is Mr. Matthew Moore. When I say the end of the world, he's only down the road-ish, you know. So we've got good tubes tonight, I believe, so I'm receiving you loud and clear. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick back, relax and enjoy episode 291 of the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Oh, Matthew, we have much to discuss on this show, my friend. We do.
I mean, you had a birthday and everything. Happy birthday. Thank you.
So I had birthday and Mrs. The good lady's birthday today.
Oh.
Yeah, it's exactly 7 days. I've never got an excuse to forget her birthday. I just count on 7 days from mine. And what we normally do is if the holidays fall at a weekend, that's great because then we can spend time together with each other. Unfortunately, the way the holidays or the dates fallen this year, it's been very difficult for us to spend time together on our actual birthdays. So we agreed. Well, I went away and booked a mucky weekend. A mucky weekend in Llandudno, which sounds Darren, you're really pushing the boat out there, my friend. I tell you what, no expense was spared. But we got up to some great stuff. Climbed a mountain. Well, got a train up a mountain. Got a choo-choo train up top of Mount Snowdon.
I know, I saw that. I thought, well, there's still got to have been some walking, and that was still effort. We're still going out. Darren, you went up a fucking mountain.
Yeah. I did. I went up a mountain and I came down a mountain and then I went to try and find the prisoner. But he's not there. In Portmeirion. So Portmeirion was about 40 minutes drive away. And that was where the original TV series of The Prisoner was filmed. Second time I've ever been there. Last time I was there about 30 years ago. That's a gorgeous place, mate. Really is. Really nice. So we had a fab time. So so balance is restored. My missus is now officially older than me again. I do like an older woman, you know that.
Oh yes.
But she's golden. She's she's happy birthday, babes. I know she might have a little cheeky listen. That's why I have to be careful what I say here. She's the rose to my Fred.
Oh, fucking hell.
And I adore her for it. She's a smashing thing. Right. Anyway, enough of that lovey-dovey stuff. What else have we had going on? What have you been up to social wise?
Just seeing people. Yeah. I had a dog. We had a dog for a weekend.
Okay, is this just a lender, was it, or are you going back to your fostering gig?
It was just an overnight lender, but with a lot of transport as well. And it was awesome because the first time that part of the process that we did involved doing the home check first. So we did a home check down the road in Swindon. It was like, right, this family's brilliant. Oh, there's a dog involved, is there? Oh, brilliant. Okay, we'll help with that part of it. And because we got good garden here, it makes a lot of sense. We got the room for it, and it went really well. It went really well, except for the fact that also for the first time, the guys had been back in touch with us, even though that the family loved the dog. Dog was fine. They were having problems, and we were like, shit, this is the first time that this may have happened. I guess it's like if you're buying a house and you get gazumped or something happens in the process, and all of a sudden it's like, shit, we've got to, we're about to be PayPaling the charity 250 quid of cash that we had in our hands from the collection and the delivery, because they pay obviously a fee to keep a dog or to foster a dog, I suppose the word would be. But good news, they got in touch tonight and they said that I think they finally cracked this. They finally cracked that dog. She just needed a bit of love and attention. They've just got it.
Okay, cool. So, I maybe got things a little confused there while you were talking. So this dog sitting, this was just a voluntary thing, or was it something that was initiated by your old gig?
Yeah, it's still part of that same charity, but I think they're doing more at the moment. So they always reach out to us for a cheeky short-term foster, or to help with the transport and things like that. And it's a very emotional thing. I mean, the lady who I met halfway, it was like I went up towards Peterborough. I think she was coming from Cambridge, so we met at a real nice place. But the lady had been in tears the entire drive because you had to be conscious about the story of why the dog is leaving its home. And sometimes it ain't always good, and sometimes it's just sad. And this was a sad one. I think she had new children with heart complaints. It was like, right, as much as the dog's lovely, we can't do the dog now. And the lady who picked up had a very similar history herself, so she was just in tears. And they're really, really sweet people, and everyone does it like for the freeze.
Yeah.
And also, bless it was lovely to see the wife just sort of own it. I left her to it. I'm like, right, you're in control of this. And it was great, like, just formally getting everything done properly, and it had a happy ending after a almost stumbling block. So I was like, well, we're gonna have to take her back. You know what I mean? And then we couldn't have that dog going somewhere else until we found that home. So thankfully, yes, it's all going well.
Okay, good. And how did your pair take to the new arrival?
Absolutely,
the temporary guest.
Fine, always have been. If our dogs weren't into it, then we wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I mean, let's face it, Lola's had it all her life, and Louis, he can't complain. He was one of them.
Yeah, he needs to think on a bit, doesn't he? He knows which side his bread's buttered. Yeah. No, excellent stuff, mate. Excellent stuff. I'm sure there was other stuff I wanted to talk about, but I'm sure it'll spring back into my tiny mind at some point.
Of course, it will.
So I suppose we should better start talking about other things then. Video games, perchance?
Maybe.
Maybe. Tell me what you've been up to, buddy.
Oh, mate. I'm rocking it like it's 15 years ago.
Okay.
So
2004?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I took a look into WoW Classic after our last show, and sure enough, there's a separate instance, a separate launcher, I suppose, for WoW Classic, and the other one's known as Retail. So it's Retail and Classic. So I've just gone for the Classic subscription, which is less, I think, than the Retail one. But I think if you're on Retail, you also get Classic because, you know what I mean, why not? So it seems, and I wondered what the population would be like in there. And it seems to be the people who are playing it know what they're doing. They have an absolute understanding of what they're doing. And you also realise that everyone's seeing these things again for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be in a little group and I'd be like, fuck, again, I forgot about this place. This place sucks. Don't it? The fucking drop rate here. Because now everyone's in it, and this is one thing that we can talk about more of it, but like, whenever I tried playing WoW Retail, say 6 years ago, maybe, I'll look and think like, what does that look like? And I've always got into like here's a 14-day trial, or reactivate your account for a bit, and they give you the ability to boost a character to almost max. And every time I've gone in there, it's changed so much, it is unrecognisable. The moment that they introduced flying mounts, it just changed everything, because this is such a slow experience. But everyone loves it.
So my recollection of flying mounts is it was a linear path of you flying from one location to another. Are you telling me now that there is free form flight, that you can fly anywhere in Retail, or is it still a specific path?
No, you've got absolute control.
Wow.
Absolute control. And you'll also notice if you jumped into Retail, they started doing things of being able to control a vehicle, essentially, a vehicle mechanics. So you'd have a new action bar. And they'd squeeze into things like you'd drive a little tank or a little cart.
Ooh, okay.
But the complexity of that, and the fact that I knew that I was I don't know, it was just so different. I couldn't do it. So the people who are there now in WoW Classic, like myself, they've all done it before, and we've all gone and picked up the what are they called now? The add-ons. So there's a number of add-ons that have been sort of reverse engineered with the version.
Yeah.
So I got the
auctioneer.
No,
auctioneer. Oh,
no, it exists. I got the thing that shows me where the quests are. Everyone has that.
Yeah.
I'm not hunting. What you do find is that the drop rates and the spawn rates are problematic when you've got a lot of people at low level and they still kind of know what they're doing. So I have been in a part of a group of 5 of us, and we fought our way to the top of a keep, and there's another group there stood there, a whole group of 5 people, and everyone's talking in their parties. No one's actually talking. There's 10 of us stood in this room.
Yeah,
and they all know what's going on. I can have a guess that someone's about to spawn in a minute.
I was going to say they're waiting on a spawn, aren't they?
Yeah, something's going to fucking happen. And I was in chatting at the party. I was like, "Well, should we let these guys have this, and then we'll take the next one?" And someone was like, "Yeah, that absolutely makes sense." So I was sort of stood in the corner dancing or lying down or something. And then our rogue, who was just like, "Right, boss spawns in the middle. Right, you go for the ads. I'm going to get this." And he started like putting traps down where he knows it's going to spawn. I'm like, dude, this is really fucking not right. You know what I mean? We're all in this together, and that was actually quite fun. So we got to watch, because we didn't actually get it in the end, even though he tried. But you do see that sometimes people will I'll be like, dude, come on, you saw me going for that. And it might just be like collecting a herb. But like, dude, I was totally charging up a magic shot, and they'll just go bang with an instant something, and then they pulled the mob and they get the reward unless you party up. So you do get a lot of people just going like randomly, if you're in the same place, you'll party up, you'll say hi, you'll do some stuff, and then you'll disband and go on your little way. Because it's always easier together. And sometimes you will be like, "Do you know what, have you guys got an hour?" "Yeah, we seem to be doing all right here." And I think the other thing is that everyone is automatically more helpful. And the questions that come into the global chat aren't, "How do I change the minimap?" Because everyone knows how to change the minimap. It will be, "Shit, how much does it cost for a mount? Is it more expensive for the mounts and less for the training, or the other way around?" And people love being able to help remind people or jog their memory of how this experience was. And people in those chats they seem very passionate about coming back to this experience. I myself, I was like, "Right, guys, I've got a bounce, got to go to the garden centre." Oh, another thing I wouldn't have said 15 years ago.
Maybe I've got to bounce, I've got to pick some weed up.
So yeah, I've hit level 30, which by memory means that I'm halfway through the game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, for anybody who's listening who maybe didn't, for whatever reason, didn't get involved with World of Warcraft in its original iteration, if they wanted to get involved right now, what would your recommendation be? Is there multiple options? Because it sounds like there's a classic versus retail dilemma on the face of things. Can you help try and help us wade through that mud?
I don't think there's many people left in the world who haven't already tried World of Warcraft at some point, or have had an account and have tried retail. So that if you had a choice of doing classic or retail, it's like, well, what? I guess I'd probably go retail. It's probably a better onboarding system. It's probably a lot. Obviously, the changes they made in 15 years have been pretty like user friendly and spectacular. So, guess what? You still can play WoW Classic, because even back then, the carrot on the stick that they mass marketed and still are it's sublime. It's absolutely sublime. You just want to just keep it's the ultimate grind. And I think that grind is, maybe that's the emotion. Maybe there's the emotion of remembering the places. Like I was taking a screenshot, and sending it to Tall Rob, because I remember the first time we went into Duskwood, we were like, oh my God, there's fucking spiders everywhere.
So speaking of marketing, have you had a chance to check out the World of Warcraft Classic live action advert?
There was a few of them, wasn't the one with Mr. T?
No, not back in the day ones. They've done a new one. Well, I've seen at least one. It's all set in a tavern, and there's a song being sung, and it's all about going back to WoW Classic. So it's got the guy that plays Hodor. Can't remember the actor's name for the life of me, and so he kind of plays like a big burly guy. There's probably a couple of other people, famous people, that I don't recognise, but the one I did spot was Ronda Rousey. Probably plays some kind of Valkyrie, but she's some badass shit kicker, because it turns into a brawl in the end. So there's loads of fighting and stuff going on. So, you know, Blizzard, I tell you what they do really well is they give good optics on that kind of stuff. So if you remember, I mean, you remember when all the add-ons got launched, the first thing that people were salivating over was the concept of the launch trailer, the launch trailer. That was almost like an event in itself. And I think we've lost that somewhere along the line. Well, from my perspective, we have, yes. And it's kind of all gone over to like your E3s and your TGSs and, you know, whatever, your Jeff Keighley gig. You don't normally get any sort of mid-cycle drop-dead gorgeous trailers. You still get them, but I think they're fewer and more far between. Thoughts?
You're right. I know that they still kept doing them through the expansions, and they were great. And I remember as soon as we'd all be like, they should make a World of Warcraft film. They should totally make it'll take forever, because I'm sure it's hard work animating like that, but it looks brilliant.
Yeah. Then they made a World of Warcraft film and it was shit.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
guys, don't make video games into films. It doesn't work.
If they're successful games, then they're successful enough.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Although I still would get down for a Gears of War movie with Dave Bautista as Marcus. Yeah, he's in the Gears 5, isn't he? I saw that the other day. And who else was in there? Linda Hamilton.
Yes, 80s Linda, yeah. Is it? Or new Linda? I don't know. That one.
That one, Loopy Linda. Oh, that was good to get a bit of Gears 5 chatting. Setting the boards and the communities alight right now. Seeing a lot of people enjoying it. Some people finishing it and having a fabulous time. So, it's all good stuff, mate.
God bless them. I wish I could join them.
Well, you got a PC, haven't you?
Yeah, but I haven't got that subscription anymore, have I? So I got rid of it like a week before Gears 5 came out. Should have kept hold of that.
Yeah. And how's that subscription to PlayStation Plus going?
Let's have a look.
Oh, right, so you can't. Oh, fuck's sake.
No, I deleted it. I had an email, and it said it's either about to or it has elapsed. Delete it.
Right.
I don't care. I'll wait till I go on it again. Oh, I'm so terrible.
Indeed you are, my friend. Indeed you are. Okay, so it sounds like you're having fun with WoW Classic. What sort of slash played are you on right now?
I don't know. Can you do that in WoW?
I thought that was where it originally was.
I think maybe it was. But at the end of the show, I'll take a look if you remind me. I don't know. A couple. I guess I got it on the day of release. I just picked it up. Spoke to our mate Gaz. Told me what server to go on. And just went from there. I'm an elven priest. I always like to go. So my thinking is, if I go healer, it's easier to get into a group because it's like the drummer. You always need one of them. And if you remember the old line is if the healer dies, it's the tank's fault.
Yeah.
And if the group dies, it's the healer's fault, or something like that. They probably say it better than I do and correctly.
Yeah. Good old WoW sayings. Yes.
But they were queues to get in for the first 2 or 3 nights. I was like, hey, I'm going to jump on, and it was like an hour and 15-minute wait time.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me, because I could see this being quite a significant event. So if you think about all the people that have been playing WoW since the beginning, and over the years, people have fallen away. Their life has changed. Something's got in the way, and they've moved away, like you and I did. And now you have the opportunity to go back to the beginning, where it all began. So yeah, there's going to be loads of people go, do you know what? I've got a bit of spare time, bit of disposable income. Yeah, I'm divorced now. I can do what the fuck I want. Yeah, kids are all grown up and fucked off. Yeah,
there's a lot of that.
Yeah, all of that, and like you say, a great opportunity to reconnect with old friends. Which many friendships were made through online MMOs, and we know quite a number of people that have met and formed amazing relationships and gone as far as getting married on the back of. Online MMO shenanigans. So there's hope for us all yet, my friend. You can find that dark elf of your dreams, just waiting there to, stroke your gnarly stuff. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna give a Hearthstone a good rubbing, aren't you? Yeah. That'll take you both back. Right.
Magic.
What else have you been playing? Yeah, Magic.
I don't know, man. I think that's about it. I think that really is about it for me. I've not fired the PlayStation up since we last spoke. And my iPhone gaming is just one or two things.
Okay, so we've not touched that for quite a while. So is Wiz Khalifa? Are you still growing weed for Wiz Khalifa?
No, I've not done that for a long. I don't have an app like that on there anymore.
Good.
None of that shit in my life.
I must admit, I'm in a similar situation. I've binned off Board Kings a good while ago. Marvel Puzzle Quest no longer in my life. So no, from a mobile point of view, not really doing a fat lot, apart from maybe a little bit of Eternal if I've got some dailies to do and I'm not near my PC or my Chromebook. So okay, well that sounds like a load of fun.
It does.
Yeah, this is what happens when you get back into an MMO. You see, it becomes the all-encompassing. This is the purpose of your existence. You fall asleep thinking about, Umbongo Crater, whatever it was. Yeah, and you wake up and go, oh, I can't wait to get back to Stormhold or Stormwind, whatever it was called. Yeah.
I think there was somebody in that group of friends from that guild that we know. Formally changed their house name to Stormwind.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What would you call your house? Yeah, if you had to give your house a name. A lot of people use done roaming. Would you have done fucking about?
Never.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd maybe put, magic here. Free sweets. Come on, kids. Yeah, done fiddling. Done fiddling. No, I get my gratification from the from those cardboard rectangles, mate. Nothing else. There you go.
I believe you're a healthy individual. You're probably healthier than me at the moment.
Am I? How am I going to be healthy?
I don't know. You probably move a bit more than I do.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're segueing into a little something. Yes, people. I've got myself back onto the digital side of the fence for my sins. And if you talked about a bit on the last show, we talked about the Oculus Quest. And there was some tentative umming and ahhing, and I'm going to have a look into this. Well, yeah, I did have a look into it, and then I thought, I'm going to get involved. So yeah, so I went and bought an Oculus Quest, and okay, I'm just going to say this now. This thing is fucking ace. All right, I'm really enjoying it. It's giving me feels like I felt when I got my my Super Nintendo. It was because for me, the Super Nintendo was my first home games console. Up until then, it had been kind of your Amigas and what have you. But to get something where it was just, I just plug it in, and I plug it into the back of the TV, and I press a button, and a cartridge is in, and it comes on, and I'm playing within a couple of seconds, and you know, the fidelity and the graphics and the gameplay, it was all exciting, and it got my juices really flowing, and I got myself to thinking, well, why am I feeling this level of excitement all over again? Is it because there's that was a noise there? I hope that doesn't come through on the. Is that you or me?
I think that maybe both of us actually.
I tell you what it is. I've got that fucking fuck Facebook open. Right,
that'll do it.
I've shut it. Fuck that Facebook. Yeah. So yeah. Well, fuck Facebook. They own Oculus, so maybe not fuck them so hard. Yes, or you know, put a bit of lube on the tip. So this is an experience. I'm struggling to find the words to articulate this. But I think the message will come through as I'm talking about how I'm getting along with this thing. So it arrives. It's a decent sized box, about the size of a games console. And take the wrapper off, opened it up, and there's the headset. There's 2 controllers, and that's about it. And okay, there's a little segment at the end, and I lifted something off. Oh right, there's the charge cable, and there's the plug for the wall. That's it. Okay, so what do I do? Okay, so it says install the Oculus app on your smartphone. Okay, so this is a requirement, because what you need to do is you need to set up the Oculus app. And then you log in with your Facebook details. So I guess that's the first caveat there. If you've got an axe to grind with Facebook and you don't have anything to do with it, this is the point where you might have to get involved. Okay, but fortunately, all it does, it just takes you, it just pulls all your personal data. I guess your avatar and your name and your date of birth, etc.
They know everything anyway.
Well, yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. But that was very, very streamlined and elegant. And then...
Did you have to change your password?
I can't remember what it is, mate. It's all saved. It's all saved in my Chrome. But no, so you plug the unit in to charge it for a little while. Then you turn it on, and it goes through the process of registering all your details, and then it will download any software updates for the headset itself. Then it might download some firmware updates for the controllers, and then within no time at all, you're ready to go. So you put this thing on, and it takes you through an initial setup where it's just getting you to adjust your goggles so you can see things clearly. And there's a slider along the bottom of the headset itself, which kind of I know some solutions do this electronically or digitally. This one's just a manual slider, and it increases or decreases the spaces between the 2 lenses. Because obviously people have different widths between their eyes. But once you've done all that, then so it does something really cool. Which was the first thing that really impressed me, is that because this thing has, the way it tracks everything is through 4 cameras that are in the 4 corners of the front of the headset. When you're outside of your Guardian, and I'll talk about that next, but when you're outside your Guardian, you get a black and white visual representation of what's going on in your world, in your real world. So you can move around and you can see things. So in theory, you can see without having to take the headset off.
Yeah, but can I ask? Is it disorientating at that point, or is that the most natural thing for you to see?
It feels relatively natural. But the thing that really impressed me is it takes you through this setup. So it'll say, right, we're going to set up a guardian, and what the guardian is, it's you dictating a space in your area of where you are freely able to move without knocking or bumping into anything. So you're drawing on the floor with your pointer, and then once that's all drawn, it'll then throw up like a wall of matrix around, and it shows you your guardian space. He goes, yeah, happy with that? And I go, yeah, I'm cool. Now that's brilliant, because if you stray towards when you're in game, if you stray towards the edge of your guardian area, the guardian wall will appear in game and show you that you're approaching a limit to where you want to go.
And is that OS based? So it's like regardless of the game, like that's going to happen.
Yeah, regardless of the game. So you can have this kind of 6 degrees of freedom movement, or you can opt for a stationary guardian. So you can say, right, I'm not going to walk anywhere. I'm just going to stand here, all right? So it sets up a little perimeter around where you stood right there and then. Or you can even, certain games will support you allowing to be in a seated position. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's plenty of games which you can play sitting down, which is great. So all that was done. Then you get into kind of like the home screen, which is basically you're in some kind of lush room. Halfway up a mountain, you can see out the windows, and there's snow-capped mountains, and there's a burning fire crackling away somewhere, and you've just got this huge fucking display in front of you, this is your front end UI. So it's like, okay, this is what's you can go to the store. This is what's available. There's loads of free stuff you can download, a lot of experiential stuff which kind of gets you into it. But before you even get as far as that, there's this First Steps app which runs almost immediately. So what First Steps does, it introduces you in a very beautiful and elegant way to the power of the VR that you're experiencing. So the first thing will happen is it's a black screen, and there'll be some swishing around of lights and colours, etc. And then things will start to take form, and honestly, the sense of immersion, and I'm going to say immersion a lot because I believe this is a truly immersive product. Sense of immersion is incredible, and then it transitions. There's a big whale which does a sort of flyby over your head, and then it goes to a sort of a stationary position where you've got a table in front of you, and it teaches you how to use the various buttons on the controller. So you've got two triggers for your index fingers, and then where you'd normally grip, or where you grip the controller, there's another button there, which is kind of like your grip button. So it educates you into the fact that if you hold them both together, you'll see your hands in front of you, your virtual hands, you'll form a fist, and then if you let one go, it will become a pointy finger. So you're doing the guns.
Oh, okay.
But it teaches you at an early stages, if you want to reach down and pick something up, you use the grip button. So and it puts various things in front of you. It starts with paper aeroplanes. So just you go, oh, I'm going to try and pick that up, and then you press the grip button and go, oh, I'm holding it, and you pick it up, and you're turning it in your hand. And you go, what would you do if you picked up a paper aeroplane? You'd throw it. So I went, I'm going to throw that. Boom, throw it. Went up into the distance, and then another one reappears. And then you turn around, and it's got you doing other things, punching a ball, and driving a little RV blimp around the screen. It gives you a ping pong ball and bat, so you kind of using both hands, one to pick the ball up, one to pick the bat up, and it's a great introduction to VR. And I've shown it to a couple of people, and that's always kind of like your default go-to, because it introduces them to the concepts of what you're able to do. Then you can go on to do loads of other things. There's a whole load of, like I said, free stuff. There's demos for things like Beat Saber and Pirate Trainer. a lot of free experiences. So I just grabbed everything. Show me everything, put it all, give it me all in my face. Played the Beat Saber demo. Yeah, that's great. Bought that. Bought the full version of that. So I've just been on a journey and on an adventure with it. I can't, as much as I could talk to the end of time or to the end of this podcast without pausing for breath about what I love about this bit of kit. But of all the things, all the tech I've ever bought over the years, it's very easy to show somebody, or you say, go and check this out on YouTube or whatever. Now, you can kind of do that to a degree, but, you know, because there's YouTube stuff available with people reviewing the... If you want to find out other people's opinions on the Quest, similar to mine, then you go onto YouTube. But the actual... You'll see footage of games being played, but it doesn't compare to being in that immersive 360-degree space. It's really incredible. I dropped on a game I've had an eye on for a little while the other day called Ultrawings. Now, Ultrawings...
It sounds like a sanitary product.
Yeah, Ultrawings. So it's a flight sim game. It's an arcadey feeling, looking flight sim that takes me back, and this is why I mentioned the Super Nintendo. Actually, it takes me back to my first Pilot Wings experience, where you start with a microlight and you're going through these various tutorials, taking off, flying through hoops, landing, how to use certain things, how to bank, how to turn using the rudders, etc., and you're earning points because you're working towards completing your license, and you're earning credits and money through each of the tasks that you do. So ultimately, you can go and buy an airport in another part of the island, or even jump across to another island when you've got enough money, and you're able to buy bigger and better planes. I think there's four planes currently available, but I'm happy as a pig in shit with my little microlight. Now the default, because of all the games I've played, and we probably do need to have a conversation about motion, not necessarily motion sickness, but the impact that certain VR experiences can have on your equilibrium and, you know, the way you do things. I tried. There's a roller coaster experience. You can download a demo. It's got a couple of tracks on it, and I booted that up for the first time, and I made the mistake of booting it up while I was stood up, and the thing started going, and I was like, "Shit, I've got to sit down. I've got to sit down." And I was literally crouching down, feeling for the floor. I said, "I need to sit the fuck down." So anyway, I learned from that. Because a lot of games will allow you the freedom to adjust your your comfort settings, and there's even comfort advisories within the Oculus store of saying this is the kind of experience you'll have. Is it a relaxed experience? Is it comfortable? Is it a little more moderate, or is it is it extreme? So with Ultrawings, it defaults to, you've almost got a couple of blinds either side of you, but if you turn your head to the left or the right, then it's like a flap will come up and show you what's in the world. So your eyes are kind of trained on what's moving in front of you and not anything else. So I turned that off pretty much within a first 10 minutes, because I want to be able to turn my head and, you know, look out across the island or the ocean, and it is disorienting at first, but I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and it's all about persevering, and your mind becomes accustomed to it, and you become tuned into it. So for some it may be a little disorienting at first, but if there's an option to dial things back and make it a much more comfortable experience, do that to begin with, and then notch it up bit by bit. People's mileage may vary. Well, obviously will, because we're all different people. But, it's all good, mate. It's all good. What else did I play? So, Red Matter. Oh, what a game. So So, Red Matter is it's a first-person puzzle adventure game. So imagine something like Myst, but you've got free movement, and you're able to interact with things. And it's set in a alternate future, still the communists versus the US, and you're sent to this. You're sent to this base on a planet to try and find out why everything's gone silent on this Russian communist base. So you go through and you're performing certain tasks, doing certain puzzles. I like this game a lot because I felt the puzzles were difficult enough to challenge me, but I never reached a point where I had to go to a FAQ. Or had to go to a YouTube video. It's all there as long as you sit and think about it and work it out. And it's one of those games where you feel quite smart when you work it out. And so I need to know. I need to be reminded that I can be smart when I choose to be. That took probably for about 4 or 5 hours on and off to play through. Thoroughly enjoyable. What the guys are doing. Or what these guys have done with the engine, with the graphics engine, was incredible. It was it was phenomenal to look at. I'll drop a trailer or some video footage in the show notes for Red Matter, because it's one of the most gorgeous. My exposure is limited, but of all the VR games I've played, this is the most gorgeous. It really is. They've done something incredible. And let's not forget that the Quest was released in May this year, and it's gone through a little bit of teething, a lot of people's frustration over the lack of software choice available. But if you think about it, we've had that with every single console that came out. Remember when you first got your 360, and there was only a few games, but what did happen, and what seems to be happening in the Quest store, is as soon as something gets released, it's like, oh, new stuff. I'm going to go and get it. But they're releasing stuff at a rate of knots at the moment, and I think that's only going to increase because there's no definitive numbers, but it would appear that the launch has been very successful, and that certain companies have released some indicators or some metrics around their performance. They've never been specific, but I think the guys from Red Matter, the guys who made that, I'm sorry, the developer's name I don't recall right now, but they said that the sales and the initial period since it was launched on the Quest has basically surpassed the entire lifetime sales on the Rift S. That's what we're talking about, and there are these early adopters. It's going in and out of stock at places like Amazon all the time. Sometimes it's in, sometimes it's not. If you go and look at the rankings of the top selling hardware in games, Quest is at the top. And Facebook they're not really marketing it heavily. I've not seen a TV ad. I've not seen, magazine ads. Although, to be fair, I don't read magazines, to be honest. I don't read newspapers. But I think they have the potential for this to really go gangbusters. This is the first VR experience which is completely untethered. You're not having to rely on having a PC to run it. You're not relying on having a console to run it. You're not having to plug extender boxes, doohickeys, wires trailing everywhere. This is, I've got a case for mine, and it's only so big. I'm making big fish, little fish here. Cardboard box, not doesn't make good radio, but it's tiny. And for the first time, I've been able to, because you always think to yourself when you want to show off a bit of tech, and you go, oh, you'll have to come round and try it. You'll have to come round and blah, blah. No, I'm bringing the experience to you. So I took it down to the good ladies. Now, I had no idea how she was going to take it. Whether she thought, well, because the first thing she said was, "How much have you spent on that?" Okay, so I said, right, well, I had two options. I could have bought the 64 gig model for £400, or I could have bought the 128 gig model for £500. Now, if I apply the same mentality to my phone purchasing as I do with my console purchasing, always go for the bigger option. Okay, it's not essential. The only difference between the two models is the storage space. Everything else is exactly the same. I went for the 128 gig model because I don't want to have to keep deleting stuff off. Because I am kind of consuming content at a rate of knots right now. I'm sure that will slow down at some point, but it's the new shiny thing that goes on, isn't it? So you just want to experience this. I want to experience that. Oh, something else has come out. I want to get that. But I put the the good lady got involved, bless her, and put it on her. Took her through the First Steps app, and she was so blown away by it. She was really, really taken aback. And then we started doing some fun stuff. I said, right, okay, let's do the let's do the roller coaster, let's do the Beat Saber, yada yada yada. And no, she thinks it's awesome, and she sees. She went off into the kitchen to do some cooking, and I booted up Creed, which is the demo for the boxing game. And mate, I got myself a serious effing workout on the back of that. I came into the kitchen after 10 minutes and I was pissing with sweat. You know? So this is good. So we both talked about it and we recognised that, you know, I'm not the most active person in the world. I'm no Strava wanker. However, I could probably do myself a great favour by spending 20 minutes, half an hour every day playing things like Creed and Beat Saber. And Beat Saber's great. I fucking love it. I love it, mate. But there'll be plenty to talk about on future episodes. I will laser in on certain titles. Like, so all I'm going to really talk about today is, well, I've talked about Red Matter. I've talked about Ultrawings. We'll have a quick look on my Oculus app to see what else I will be talking about on future episodes. Accounting Plus, which is the so these are by the guys that did or the guy that did
Office Simulator.
No. Oh, what was? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, Justin Roiland, yeah, from Rick and Morty. And the other guy that did, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna kick myself. Stanley Parable, the guy that did the Stanley Parable. That's good fun. A relatively short experience. does benefit from some replayability, but that's only just for mopping up secret stuff. But it's a very kind of self-aware game, and I've really enjoyed it. Drop Dead Dual Strike Edition. Some eagle-eyed people may have seen some video footage of me playing that up on the intertubes, which was sneakily taken by the good lady. Bait is a free fishing game, which is far more fun than it sounds. far more fun than it sounds. So I'll talk about that more on another episode. We talked about Red Matter. Space Pirate Trainer. This is like a 3D shoot 'em up, but it's stationary. So it's like Space Invaders, but turned up to 11 or even 12. What else have I picked up? Cloudlands 2, which is a golf game. Epic roller coaster. Super Hot VR. Had to go for that. I've seen so many good things about that game. I've never actually owned a copy myself, so it made sense, like a no-brainer, just to get it in VR. And then the final thing that I will talk about at some point in the future is so there's an MMO. There is an MMO currently available called OrbusVR, and This is a really interesting one for me, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit because we've got plenty of time. You know, I've not got much board game chat this week because I've been busy with other things. But Orbus VR. So this is the game that I think about playing, but don't get enough time to play it. And this is just a symptom of just being an older grown up adult Because when you were kids and when we were younger and we had less fucks to give about life, we would happily spend 6 or 7 hours a day playing World of Warcraft. I have to be quite tactical and strategic about the time I spend in this in this world, and as a result of that, I haven't really got very far. I'm kind of still in the starting zone. I'm still trying to figure out what's what, because what this game doesn't do, it doesn't teach you things. It doesn't hold your hand, and I kind of like that. But there's people in the world. It's a very friendly community. So I've walked past people and there'd be somebody talking to somebody else saying, "Oh yeah, you need to go and do this, you need to go and do that." Now I could have just stood there and hung around and listened, but no, I'm just off bimbling. I'm off bimbling and I'm walking around. I'm moving in a first-person perspective around the world, and you can mess with the control settings. So I've got it set up so that with my thumbstick I can strafe. So left and right will allow me to strafe, and then if I push up, I'll move forward. But wherever I turn my head, that's the direction I'll travel.
Yeah, man, that sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds VR as fuck.
Yeah, VR as fuck. Yeah. And you don't, when you create your character, you select a starting class, but you're not stuck with that class. Your entire class that you adopt is all driven by what equipment you're holding in your hand. So if you want to switch from being a warrior, you'll put your sword and your shield away, and you'll take out your bow, and then you become a hunter, and you'll put that away and take out your staff, so you become a wizard.
Oh, on the fly.
On the fly.
Oh, that sounds good.
And your levels are all tied to those characters, so you could go from being a level 30 warrior because you enjoy being a warrior, to go to be a scoundrel with a pistol that you've hardly ever touched, and you're level 1. So you've got that freedom to kind of flex between the different things.
That's also real clever MMO design, because with less of a world and less of a progress, it gives you an actual purpose to go through it again. But you haven't got to log into another character. You're still you. You're still being you as a person in the world. You're just doing and repeating this stuff again. I suppose. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of people have compared it to World of Warcraft, but I don't think necessarily from a graphical perspective. I'm going to be honest with you, mate. This game doesn't look great. I don't know what people's expectations are, but it's not the best looking game on the system. But for what it does and creates that environment where you feel you're physically in it, and you're tanking mobs and you're kiting mobs and you're going up and talking to people and you're running around, and there's loads of things that I've yet to discover, but I want to go and discover it all. You know, it's like being in that starting zone in World of Warcraft, where all you're doing for the first 10 minutes is beating pigs up or something, but then you get out into the world and you start learning other things. I'm thoroughly excited at the prospect of it. I'm thinking about it right now. I just want to finish the podcast and go play it some more. But I guess the bottom line is I'm really pleased with my purchase, and I can't recommend it enough. If you've got a bit of spare disposable, and you want to treat yourself to something that's pretty damn sexy, and it's only the beginning. I guarantee you this will be an iterative product. Similar to phones, similar to home consoles, it'll be iterated upon. You know, I would expect next year to be buying the Oculus Quest 2 or the Oculus Quest Plus, because they'll get the tech nailed better, they'll get the hardware nailed, and upgraded in a certain way. But I must say, I've really got no complaints whatsoever. The fidelity of the tracking is the best I've ever had. The graphics within the world, and by that I mean, so if you ever used a VR headset, and you kind of
once or twice, yeah.
I don't know if you remember, you're going to have this screen door effect. So it's almost like, you know, on American shows, they've normally got these mesh doors in front of their main doors. We don't see much of them in the UK. but it looks like you're looking through a mesh in VR speak. I guess they call it the screen door effect, but they've managed to reduce that quite significantly. But the tracking of the controllers is just absolutely spot on. I don't think there's any more I can say to extol the virtues of this product, but I really do think it's a fantastic bit of kit, and I'd love to be able to have people experience it. So I'm not suggesting for a second I'm going to be carrying it around with me next weekend, but I may have it in my room and may invite some people up for some special private sessions.
Has it got a web browser on there?
Yes, it has.
Has it got private browsing on it?
Yes, it has.
Wicked.
Okay. What's the next question you're going to ask me?
Can I have a go?
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. I thought you were going to ask me what the porn's like. All right, come here. Come close. I'll whisper it so nobody else can hear.
Okay.
Right. The porn's fucking amazing.
Oh, I bet it is.
Oh, it's so good.
Do you know
Go to VRporn.com, and I'm there, and I dove into it the first time, and I had this bird's ring piece literally 2 inches from my nose. Dude, I'm the fucking Pornmower Man. That's what I am. It's great. Anyway, back in the room. Nobody heard that, did they? That's all right.
It's just been you, isn't it?
Oh, no, just you and me, mate. Just on the QT. Excellent stuff. Okay, yeah, go get it, or come find me and we'll try it.
It feels like I've got loads and loads of questions that I might say, or I don't know.
Well, feel free if any immediate questions right now. So pricing of the games, they vary from the cheapest games are like $7.99, some are $10.99, hovering around go to the $14, $18.99 mark. Your top tier games, like your Beat Sabers of the world, they're $22.99. In fact, the most expensive game on there right now is OrbusVR, which is the MMO. But I bought into that at that price because there's no subscription. So I'm not paying a monthly fee. I'm just there. I'm in there as long as they're running the server. I'm playing that game whenever I want. Awesome.
Audio.
Yes. Okay. So it does a really cool thing that the audio is kind of, the speakers are built into the side straps at the side of your head. So if you imagine if you're wearing a pair of glasses, the speakers are pointing at your ears from the sides of your head, from within the bands of the thing itself. Now it's got 3.5mm jacks on either side of the headset, so you can plug your own headset in. And I've tried that with both. For just everyday usage and demoing it to people, the built-in speakers are just fine, but they lack any significant bass, and the audio files out there will just go, oh, that's just bollocks, it's garbage. Get yourself a proper set. The battery on the thing lasts about 2.5 to 3 hours, which some would say, okay, you probably wouldn't want to spend more than that amount of time in one session anyway, playing it. However, there are certain things you can do. So I invested in a 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack, just a generic one off the Amazons, and what I've done is I've Velcro strapped that to the back of the head strap, so it acts as a counterweight as well to the headset on the front. Because there have been some odd people have complained that it's a little front heavy, which is kind of natural, and all the tech is built into that front mounted head display. So when you've got the battery pack plugged in, I just run a short USB-C cable, from the charger to the charger input, and I've extended my gameplay by 6 hours. Easy peasy. So if I want to do an 8-hour marathon of questing and masturbating, I can do that. Okay.
Things like Bridge Crew, is the multiplayer shit in there other than the MMO?
Yes, there is. So the Drop Dead, will support co-op. There was not only one, but there's 2 VR poker games, mate. Okay, so you got all the VR, and the way I guess the way people would party up together would be we become friends. Will find you through Facebook, etc., and it will sort all that out, and then I can create a party and invite you along, and I can invite you to all sorts of things. There's a big screen VR, which is just being able to stream movies from the actual device itself, or from you can stream wirelessly from your PC. So if you've done some science and got the new Avengers film, you could put it on a big cinema screen in your VR world, and you can invite people in to watch it with you.
Man.
Which is pretty cool. It's science, mate. It's science.
You saw me trying to work that out, didn't you? Is it streaming? Do you have to own the film?
No. All the science is done. The science I'm talking about is being able to share your viewing experience with other people. Netflix and Amazon have got their own native apps, so I can lie in bed and watch films on what would appear to be a massive fucking cinema screen.
And does that play? Does it feel?
Yeah.
Does that feel right?
Yeah. It's fully adjustable as well.
That's clever as hell.
Yeah. No, it's insane, mate. Honestly, I want us to have a conversation after you've used it.
Okay.
But feel free if you've got any other questions right now.
The general operating system itself, is it all managed with your hands? 'Cause I saw you look at your app again. So could you use your phone for more than just the pairing?
Yeah, so you can you can cast what you're doing from your Quest to your app on your phone.
Is that so someone else can watch what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic! Because I thought that you'd missed that.
Or I can keep an eye on what somebody's doing in the world. If you've got a Chromecast, you can actually cast to your TV. Although there is a little bit of too much latency there right now, they need to work on that a little bit more. But the casting to the phone is pretty instant. No, that's super impressive. There's even a game. I can't remember the name of it right now, but whoever's wearing the headset is like this big tree. It's Akron. The game's called Akron, and the way it's set up is the person with the headset is a big acorn tree, and then you can have up to, I think it may be up to 8 people who've downloaded the Akron app to their smartphones, and they're like these little critters from the woods. And the object of the game is that you're all supposed to try to get to the tree and steal the golden acorn and get it back to your. It's like a capture the flag sort of thing. But you, as the big guy in the acorn, you can see all these people moving around, and you're throwing stuff at them and trying to beat them down. That can be done within a room, or you can do it online. So you could play it with people all around the world. I won't even talk about the VR chat experiences, and there's a lot of, I guess,
spaces.
Social spaces, the next evolution on from
home.
Not home. What was the Linden Labs one? That Second Life.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on, mate. That's all I'm saying. It's all there to be discovered, But as far as the apps go themselves, I like Oculus's approach to the curation of the store. So I think they took some learnings from the Oculus Go, where they just allowed pretty much anybody to publish anything, and it just ended up swimming in a sea of shit apps, and really struggling hard to try and find all the good stuff. They've addressed that with the Quest store. There was some quite heavy curation of that, and you have to fill a lot of criteria. I was listening to a podcast the other day where they went through all the boxes you need to tick in order for your game to be published on the Oculus store. But it's all sensible stuff, things like, well, you need to have a start screen, or you need to have something on the screen within 4 seconds of the app booting up. It needs to be translucent. Somebody should be able to come out of the game very quickly at the press of a button at any point. There's normally the standard button which people press, which takes them out of the game. So it's all that kind of stuff. If you tick all those boxes, then you are able to publish your title on the official Oculus store. Now, there is There is additional science. There's something called side loading. Okay. I've not really looked into that. I'm aware of it. I've had a brief look at an overview. I'm happy to run vanilla with my Quest for the moment. I want to experience the whole thing as it's intended. But to be fair to Oculus, they've got no beef with this side loading being done, because what a lot of developers are doing, they kind of use this as a side route to get their tech demos and their betas onto the Quest without having to go through that curation process to get onto the store. So you see a lot of games sort of have been side loaded for quite a while they're in development, and at some point they'll go, right, we're launching on the store, full-blown version. You'll be paying for it, but it ticks all the boxes. So it's certainly not something that Oculus are cracking down on. They're very open and welcome to it. And there's a little science involved. You know, you got to create a developer account. You got to put your headset into developer mode, and then you got to install. Then you got to put something on your PC.
And your warranty's fucked.
Well, you know, you pay your money, you take your choice. You know. But I say I'm not willing to do that at the moment. Even at the lure of custom Beat Saber tracks and things like that. Yeah, I know.
Do they have DLC formally?
They do. It's garbage. Not the band. It's not very good. I don't know whether Harmonix just signed like 25-year deals with all the record companies and said you can't give rhythm action stuff, your tracks, to any other rhythm action title. But no, there is ways and means of getting on, and that's through side quest. But like I say, I may report on that at some point once I've delved into it. But for the time being, I'm more than happy to run vanilla. I'm having such a good time. So. There you go. I've had a bit of a rant on there, haven't I?
That's fantastic. Check you out.
It's got to be the longest video game chat we've had in a good couple of years.
I can get used to this.
Yeah. So, I don't know, we probably should take a little break just to wet our whistles. I need to go and grab a drink. And we'll be right back after this little bit of chiptunage. And we're back. There you go. Are you ready, Player One?
Is that me?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, there was a little throwback to Jump by Van Halen. Remember that was used in the opening sequence. I think I need to go back and watch that film again now.
Which one?
Now I'm a VR wanker.
What, Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I didn't like it.
What?
I couldn't get into it. It seems so cheesy. Childish. It's a child's film. You're a child.
You're calling me a child? Oh, I feel so small.
Bullying, podcast bullying.
Yeah, eat a bowl of dicks, Matthew. Yeah. Suck my fat one. Right, so we're gonna talk a little about MLGX because we're fast approaching. Okay, there's still some tickets left for the evening gig. It's that room's filling up quite nicely.
I was looking at the list today. Me and the wife were going through, and we're like, "Oof, blimey!"
Even if we don't sell another ticket, I think we're gonna have a nice packed room there.
Yes, we are.
Very much looking forward to it. I want to talk a little bit about the MLBGX, as it's now officially labelled, which is the board gaming stuff on the Saturday. So this is I'm really excited for this, and I've kind of I've also been chatting to you and the community managers because we do still have regular planning calls. Don't underestimate the work that goes in to planning all this. So for a bit of transparency, the room that we're using for the board gaming expo that hasn't come for free. That has been money has changed hands in order to secure that room, and I think we originally positioned it, and I think this is how it's currently positioned in the Facebook thread, is that we'd be running a raffle or something to fund it. Now, on reflection, I'm deciding not to do a raffle. I don't think it's the right thing to do. It's quite it's a niche enough thing as it is to be a board gamer, and to enter a raffle for a board game that you really want is I don't think it's the right way to approach it. So the way we're gonna do it instead is it's entirely optional. You come along and spend some time with us. You can make a donation, pay what you want. To put it into context, if you went to a board game cafe and wanted to play some board games, you're going to be paying £5 for an hour or so. If you're lucky, I think it's £5 an hour. That's about the going rate.
What if you're in the middle of a fucking game?
I don't know. Get the fuck out, mate.
Can you save it? Take a picture of it.
Pay up or fuck off. But no, you're free to come along, but it'll be an optional thing. I obviously will be hanging around with my cap in my hand, pestering you. But no, I genuinely want as many people to come to this as possible. And you don't have to bring your own board games. There's enough people bringing games along as it is. Because remember, we're only fitting 30 people in this room. So it might be that we can't fit you in at a certain point. You might need to come back. I anticipate people to be, some people will be there for the full session from 11 till 5. Others will pop their head in and say hello. I can say at some point there will be some food. All right, but I'm not saying anything else. Okay. But there'll be refreshments there as well. I think there's water. They call it a hydration station. So we've got all that going on. Obviously, the main hydration station is the bar.
Yeah, is this all downstairs? So are we all close to?
Yeah, it's all downstairs. And I was chatting to the nice lady from the Copthorne today, actually. So when there's where there's conferences, and I says, do we get something put on one of those little pin boards in little white letters or gold letters? She says, I don't think so. We normally just put an A4 thing up on the door. I said, don't worry, we're taking care of that. I said, my boy Ad's on the case. All right, he's gonna knock up something good. But I did say, so if people wanted to bring a drink from the bar in, are you okay with that? She said, that's fine. She says, any food or drink purchased on the premises can be consumed within the within the room itself. So yeah, if you want to grab a couple of beers and sit down and play some board games, you're more than welcome. If you've never played a board game in your life before, come along. There are loads of new player friendly games that are going to be available. I'm really excited for it. And my biggest fear is that I'm not going to be able to play any games because I'm really too busy just keeping the room warm.
Well, things that you like that. I mean, you just spoke about one of the things that you like about your Quest is that being able to come round here and look at this. So the Quest is great for that, but it's very difficult to sit all your best friends down in one room and let them all and show them the best experience of board gaming around. Yeah.
I know. I had to go a bit proper mental to do that, didn't I? To get you all in a room together.
I mean, I'm going to be ducking in and out. I'll probably pop in early doors.
Yeah.
And then I think the wife's keen on a bowling gig. I know that was one of the things in there. So
yeah,
I might look into that. See if anyone else.
I mean, that's the beauty of this. That's why I kind of made it a complete day thing. You know, people are going to want to arrange and go off and do other things and go and do the escape rooms and the wall climbing and the Kong bar or whatever it is, but they can always come back to the board game expo because we'll be there all day from 11 till 5. We're cutting it off at 5 because I need to have a shower, shave, and a shit before the evening's proceedings. I'm excited for that as well. Boy, oh boy, we got some fun stuff lined up for you, lovely ladies and gentlemen that are attending in the evening. I can't wait. I'm bursting with excitement. I want to tell you what's happening, but I can't.
Well, as we know, sometimes even I don't know what's going to happen. But they're always fantastic. And I think what we can at least tease the fact that there are elements of this that you and I are not privy to.
Oh yeah, and I like that. And I can't give too much away, but there's a certain thing going on, and I basically said, you keep Matt and I out of this. Just go and do your worst. Go and do your worst, and we will enjoy it. Yeah. So just to summarise, the Board Game Expo, it's free to attend, but we would appreciate donations if you come and spend time with us. It all goes towards the funding of the room, and that just means nobody's out of pocket. Nobody being me. But I was so passionate about setting this up. I wanted to have something that we could, we could all get together and do something as a community, not only in the evening but during the day as well. So thank you in advance for coming along and supporting. So there you go. So from a board game perspective, I'm treading over old ground here, mate. So I ain't going to talk too much. Still loving Magic. Still loving the shit out of that. Still do me weekly or as and when we can my Sunday fun day with my boy Darren, and we're just having fun. I
bet you strapped that vibes on him as soon as he walked through the door. Look at this VR, you massive bastard.
Well, he'd been tossing up getting one of those for ages, and he says, "Oh, I fucking hate you." He says, "I hate you," and then he sends me a message on Twitter. He says, "You," sends me a photo of his Argos reservation.
Good man. So, does that mean that you and him are friends on Facebook, and then you're thusly friends? And does it automatically say, by the way, one of your Facebook friends now owns this and has an account? So here is their online status.
I don't think it is as obtrusive as that. Although I could be wrong. All I know is that he sent a friend request and I accepted, and we've done nothing together. Because life and birthdays and mountains and whatever. So I've not really had much chance to do anything in an online space. But it'll come, my friend.
Of course it will. So, but as we're still in board game territory, let's have a little chat about what your thinking or your thought process has been like for MLGBX. So, what is potentially one of the what games are you bringing that could be over quickly, like real snappy ones that anyone could just pick up and enjoy like that? How long do they take to play?
I've got some quick and dirties that I'm planning to bring along. I'll probably just I'll just man bag a handful of light filler games. So I'm thinking of games like Love Letter. Probably I've got another game called Get the MacGuffin, it supports up to 11 players. So I really want to be that guy that you come to when you're waiting for another game to become available, or all the tables fall and go, oh, I suppose I'll have to talk to you, Darren. Okay, that's no problem. Come and sit down. Yeah, we've got all this fun stuff. Well, all this fun stuff going on because and this is why I'm a little more relaxed about not getting too involved in the board gaming side of things on the Saturday and sitting down and playing, is because I'm having a Magic session on the Friday night. So if there's anybody coming along who likes Magic the Gathering, I'm drafting a cube on Friday night. I think there's about 4 of us right now, but I can squeeze another 4 people in. So if you know what I'm talking about, then you'll probably do right to register your interest. If you ain't got a clue what I'm talking about, you're best off out of it.
No,
it's full of nerds.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of nerds and cards and shit, you know. So no, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the whole weekend. I plan to arrive on the Friday. I've booked the Friday off. Regrettably, this year I've not booked the Monday afterwards off. So that's normally my go-to. But I've got some other holiday booked the following weekend. So I've got a load of work to do. You know when you go on holiday and you just have to work twice as hard the week up to it going up. That's basically what I'm having to do.
Well, look, I had the Thursday and the Friday off and the Monday off because I had all this holiday that had to be used. And I looked at what's coming on work-wise and I went, I can't not be around on that day. So I've only got the Friday off myself.
Oh, very good, mate.
But no, I'll be up there on the Friday and the Saturday nights, travelling back on the Sunday. It's all going to be full of joy. Would I be right in thinking that compared to any other years, it's just as a weekend thing, we're geographically better suited than we ever have been? Like, everything's a walk away.
Yeah, we're not staying in hotels that have got passageways that stink of piss and disappointment. We've got a nice hotel. The actual venue for the Saturday night is nice and central. It's literally 50 or 100 yards from New Street Station. So even if people are just travelling in and travelling out afterwards, although you probably won't get a train at 2 a.m, that's how late the bar potentially could go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I know some of you lot like peaking soon, but
what do you mean, like Friday?
My best advice is pace yourself. Okay, it's going to be a long and fun night. Okay. So there you have it. I think we've just about exhausted things. I could spend another hour talking about the Quest. I could spend another hour talking about how excited I am for MLGX. But you don't want to hear all that. We've came, we've spoken, we've got excited about games. So that's 3 boxes ticked as far as a Midlife Gamer podcast goes. I think Matt was a little taken aback when I spoke to him the other day. I says, "Oh yeah, we'll do a show next week." He's like, "Oh, cool." You know why? Because Darren's playing video games again. Yeah, but I've been bursting to talk about this.
Well, do you know what? I feel that sometimes. And I want to do a show. It's nice when you get that feeling, isn't it?
Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is, and you're definitely you're definitely my go-to for all things podcast related. You know,
fucking hope so.
Well, that's how it is, mate.
Have you done any moonlighting on me? I don't think you ever have you?
Do you know? I can't remember. I think I did. I did a last save loaded with Coleman Justin.
Oh, yes, you did.
I don't know. I don't think I've done anything else. I think it'd be a bit wrong if I was to say, "Oh, I'm available if you want to hit me up."
Fucking would be. He's on mine.
All invites are considered, of course. If you can handle me. I am the loose cannon of the two of us. Matthew has to work hard in the edit sometimes. But hey, that's what you get. If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
Damn straight.
Okay, my friend. Let's wend our way into the domestics. Have we got any iTunes reviews that need to be spoken of?
No, we don't.
Well, that's that then. Excuse me. Oh, I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, that looks like it should
really
be good.
That Brad Pitt, man. Oh,
is he still looking good?
Oh, he looks ace.
Does he look ace?
He looks ace. He looks ace. Yeah. Oh, I love that guy. And DiCaprio. DiCaprio's an outstanding. He just gets better and better.
I think I saw a quote, and it was that he's one of the last true stars, Hollywood stars.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, you don't tend to get them anymore, do you? I mean, I'm very removed, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I guess so. Yeah, he doesn't just sign up for anything left, right, and centre, does he? He's quite particular about what roles he takes on. But I tell you, he's nowhere near as particular as Daniel Day-Lewis. Do you know he's only done a handful of films in his entire career?
Were they all successful? That Dancing with Wolves one, weren't it?
No, he wasn't in Dances with Wolves.
Oh, is that Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Did he do another film which was like that?
Maybe. Or you were thinking of somebody else.
I don't know. Well, how many has he done?
He's done some. He's done some. So hang on, let's have a think.
Hang on, this is a great anecdote from Darren.
So he did My Left Foot, yeah. Then he will have done. People are screaming at me now. I'm going to tell you now. So he did My Left Foot. He did There Will Be Blood. He did Gangs of New York. And he did he did a couple of others as well.
This is fucking crazy. This isn't even outtakes.
Yeah. Right, I was going to vamp for a second while I searched Daniel Day-Lewis.
Look, we've already got this far. We may as well carry on.
His films, okay. Right, so he did My Left Foot.
Does it say as well at the top somewhere like famed for not doing that many films as you'd have thought he might have done?
Well, yeah. I'm just having a look now. Yeah, so he did The Boxer. Oh no, he did a few more. I would say his modern career, yeah. I'm thinking about his modern career here. So I think the last film he did was Phantom Thread in 2017. Then he did Lincoln in 2012. So there's a 5-year gap. Before that was There Will Be Blood. There's another 5 years. Gangs of New York, 2002. That's another 5 years. So I think he does one every 5 years. Yeah.
Well, he's
so 2022 is when he does Star Wars Episode 10. You thought they were gone, but now they're back. Yeah, we've got one more Star Wars left to go. And,
we do have a Star Wars left to go. That trailer looked like a great fun trailer, but the entire time I just thought, but half of these would be fucking dream sequences. Do you know what I mean? This bears no relevance to what is canon.
I don't know what's canon, what isn't, mate. I think we often forget sometimes that this was a film for children, and now it's just man babies, just crying about everything. Just grow the fuck up. The greater things to worry about in the world.
Are you part of are you part of the Facebook group? Is it called Rugely Rocks?
No, I'm not aware of that.
You should be part of it. It's your typical town Facebook group. So you have to apply to join, and you generally say something like, Okay, yes, I promise I won't advertise loads of stuff and I won't be a dickhead. But you know what? It's great because it's full of dickheads and people advertising shit stuff. But they all have their own ones. So, like, my last one was called I Live in the Town of Farringdon. There's a Whitney one here as well. It's generally people. It's a mixture of people trying to sell stuff, which is kind of cool. But it's also people moaning in the best way that you'd love Facebook to moan. And people just eventually start, like, certain towns have their own little nuisances that people get sick of people complaining about. So the best one I saw today was, and it's from the town I don't even live in, right? So when I left Farringdon, I left this group, and I was like, do you know what? I missed some of the Farringdon bullshit. I rejoined.
There's so Rugeley Rocks has 9.9 thousand members, but hey, with 14,000 members, Rugeley Mums, those mucky bitches. Those mucky girls.
There's a lot of them.
Oh. Wanted man with a van ASAP. Message me, please. Oh, she wants it for free. Any jobs for 16-year-olds going local?
But when you start going through the comments, you see a post like, in my old town, it'd be like, any idea why there's a police helicopter going over? And people would be like coming up with wild accusations on the fly, or someone would post a picture of a screenshot being like, I know who you are and you owe me money.
Someone's selling a job lot of Nerf guns. Well, I don't know. This has got nothing to do with mums. It's just all just bricks and shit. Come and get your bricks, mums. I've been shitting them all day. Oh, that's a horrible sofa. 3-piece in brilliant conditions. Cushions are still solid. With what? Oh, mums. I thought this would be like a local version of Mumsnet, with just complete inane bullshit being spouted, but no. Oh,
Did you know that there's a grandmum's net?
Is there?
My mother's part of it.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, we've made her join that then, hadn't I?
If you want to go one stage deeper with your grossness.
Yeah. Yeah, get some of that pork pie action.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Chip away at the crust. Through the jelly. And there you're at the gammy meat. That's your gransnet. Anyway, domestics, my friend.
Midlifegamer.net is the website. That's on the internet. The Facebook group we've spoken about loads. You'll certainly get up-to-date information about what people are doing in Birmingham the weekend after next. I think whenever I pull the trigger on what me and the wife are going to do, I think there's a couple of other people interested. We'll go like, do you know what? Let's do that. And then we'll and I think I'll blatantly time it around being able to start at your place and end at your place. And then I'll probably walk out half an hour before you go and like, I haven't got to tidy this shit up. You need to employ some people, I'm sure. I know you got a lot of pals. I mean, you've got security there as well in case someone gets a bit too pissed around your unsleeved cards. Or do we make an assumption if they're unsleeved, you assume they're going to be eaten?
Listen, mate. If people want to rock up with unsleeved cards, that's on them. All right. I will not pass judgment, but I will be laughing my cock off when drink gets spilt on them. That's all I'm going to say. All
right. You can get yourself over to Twitter. The main feed on Twitter is at MidlifeGamerNet. I'm at MantisMatt and Darren's at Uncle_Fister. Wowzers. Do you know what? It might. Yeah, here's a thought.
Go on.
Instagram. We should
what
probably.
About it?
Well, the first time and the last time we used it was at an MLGX last year. Maybe we should all re-download that app on our phone and start sharing the excitement and the process of said weekend on social media for those who aren't there.
Yeah, they've got rude filters on though, haven't they? I don't want to be seeing pictures of Dougie's cock and balls on my Instagram. Your cock and balls, fine, but not Dougie's. It makes me feel small.
If
It gives me a complex.
if your phone is lost, although I'm sure there's a passcode on there and you can automatically wipe it if you can't find it in an hour's time. But in theory, I mean, there's like, how many pictures are accessible on your phone right now?
What?
I think it's like 5,500 on mine.
Yeah.
I mean, like, can you promise yourself there's nothing rude on that or inappropriate on that? If your phone got out.
Oh no, there's the stuff I showed you on the last show's still on there.
Oh my god!
Oh, there's wholly inappropriate stuff on my phone.
Wholly inappropriate. I showed the wife. She watched more than me, but she got about an extra 15 seconds through, and she was like, "I can't stop. How to make it stop? How to make it stop?" I was like, "Just throw the phone. Throw it in the fire.
Kill it with fire." Oh dear. Yes.
So I won't worry about Instagram too much right now.
No, I ain't worried about anything, mate. Nothing at all. Right, so there we go. There we have it. Job done. Boxes ticked. Video games, board games, MLGX, MLBGX. It's all happening. We're going to speak to you in a couple of weeks if you come along to the show. But if you don't, have a wonderful gaming couple of weeks. Be wonderful to each other. Go balls deep wherever you can. And join us next time when we'll bring you another exciting episode of the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Say goodbye, Matthew.
See you all soon.
So I've got a scenario for you, right? Okay, picture the scene. You're at a cinema. Have you ever been to Star City?
Yeah.
Or as it's now known, Stab City.
Oh god, does it go downhill?
yeah, just a little bit. So, with it being close to the centre of Birmingham, there's a multitude of faiths and religions, and all walks of life, and as Rummies, we're very, very accepting of that. So I want to picture a scenario. Okay, you may be sat on a bench outside a Costa on a little table, enjoying a little hot chocolate. Yeah, because it's getting pretty late in the evening. It's getting a bit dark. Good lady sitting next to you. She's enjoying life. We're having fun, chatting away.
I bet you're charming as fuck.
She's got a bit of wind. All right? The lady's got a bit of wind. And you're kind of at that stage in your relationship where you're kind of comfortable with each other's bum noises. Yeah?
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
On both sides.
And normally, you could say she's as quiet as a mouse. Hardly a squeak out of her. But not tonight, my friend, because something's happened, and she's blowing major trumpets. So she sat on the bench. She decides to lift her cheek and let one rip. It was a boomer.
Wow, brave.
It was brave, because just as she did it, this big black man was walking past. Okay, away from us. So he turns around after a second and looks straight at me. So, if you were in my position, it's like a choose your own fart adventure.
Yeah, I think I would know.
What would you do at this point?
Oh God, I don't know how. Now you're thinking about it, and as a snap decision there and then to just try and end the situation, I would probably give him a kind of a nod and a pulled face and an admission that I did that. Sorry, and hope that kind of dispels the situation.
Now, mate, where I come from, right? If you've blown it, you own it. Yeah. So I pointed at her. I said it was her. It was her, not me. And the look of fear upon his face. It's like somebody had pulled a gun on him. It's like some drive-by shooting in Handsworth. No,
who's this crazy person shouting at me?
Yeah, we've got a mentally scarred black Afro-Caribbean male in the centre of Birmingham who will never be able to look a white woman in the eye again for fear of the monumental arse boom that was directed at him but the timing was perfect. He was right next to her.
Wow.
And she ripped a massive one. Sorry, love. I did tell you I was going to talk about this. All right.
Well, do you know what? I had one as well. I posted on Twitter yesterday that the wife was going through her phone, and it was videos, and there was one video which was really nice of loads of dogs, surprise. And then another video that she goes, "Oh my God, I forgot I did this." And we watched it together, and it was like a 30-second long video of me sleeping.
Yeah.
And it was from, like, she was behind me, she was just lay there filming me, and about 20 seconds in, she just whispers, "I love you."
Oh my God.
And even she was there going, "Shit, that's creepy, isn't it?" I was like, "Babe, that's really fucking creepy. Don't be doing that."
Dude, check the fucking hard drive. That's what I'm saying. Check the hard drive. Things are not going well there, my friend. That's a warning sign. Get that fucking hard drive checked. Oh, Jesus.